My name is Taylor Castro, and we also do have, we are going to be two of your lawyers title marketing reps. We thank everyone for taking the time to join today. We to be doing this weekly wrap every Friday at the same time to try and inform you guys of the most up-to-date information as things are on a daily basis. But with that being said, we are going to have a lot of information today. Don't hesitate and worry in a giant scramble about taking notes. We will more than likely email everyone once we are done with the presentation today. And then also let us know what you guys want us to cover next week. We're open to ideas, and we are actually here to help you guys. So if there's something specific you want to know, let us know so we make sure we have it answered by next week. So with that being said, Kim, do you want to say anything?
I was just going to say maybe everybody turn off. Does everybody have their video turned off? Because your when you were speaking, it was a little jumbled again.
Yeah, looks like everyone has their video turned off also.
It is? Okay. So, okay.
All right. With that being said, one of the most talked about questions we're going to have is what type of recovery are we expecting, and what is the difference? Is it going to be a V-shape, U-shape, L-shape? So that's one of the main things we are going to cover today is the different types of recovery and actually what they are. So with that being said, a V-shape, this is going to be an economic period in which the economy experiences, however, it's going to be period of a decline. There's going to be a clear bottom, which doesn't last that long, and then there's going to be a strong recovery. Just so you guys know, this is what four of the top financial institutions are predicting that we are going to have. We are hearing a little bit of chatter of people now moving their or persuading their thoughts over to a U-shaped recovery, but don't let that scare you because a U-shaped recovery is still going to have a positive outcome at the end of the day. It just takes a little bit longer to get there. So with that, the decline is a little bit more gradual. The recovery, excuse me, the recovery that flows off moderately and picks up speed, but the recovery could take anywhere from 12 to 24 months. Now, with that being said, like I said, it's still on the positive side. So it's not going to be dreaded L-shaped recovery where it is the dead end, the flat line that everyone is freaking out about. You guys can see that the L-shaped recovery is going to be a steep economic decline followed by a long period of no growth. When economy is in an L-shaped recovery, getting back to before the decline will take years. We are not predicting this. The situation we are in now is nothing that anyone caused and or could have predicted. So we're kind of on that pause button, but things are going to start recovering, and we're seeing that with even possibly different economies opening up as soon as today or the first. We're going to start growth start soon. We just don't have the definite date. But like I said, four of the top financial institutions are predicting this. We have Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo. We're currently in, so everyone saw that little bit of a decline. In Q3, we're going to be projecting to go back up. As you can see, Wells Fargo is still seeing a decline, but the majority of them are showing that incline. And then once we hit Q4, we're back to where we were.
So as we're looking at this, and as Taylor's saying, everything's going to be coming back, we need to think about, are you going to be ready when this is all over? I mean, all of those buyers and sellers that push the pause button because they weren't feeling comfortable right now doesn't mean that they're not going to want to buy and sell ever again. This will end, and when they are ready again, when this is over and they're feeling more comfortable, you want to be that person that is there when they push the play button. We need to be staying active and communicating with our people. There's no such thing right now as over communicating with our people. Your friends, your family, and your community, they have questions that are on their mind, and you are the one that can answer those questions. So if you need some ideas on different ways to connect and communicate with your people right now, reach out to Taylor or myself, and we can share with you ways that are working for other people during this time. Our home equity report found that at the start of 2020, homeowners with a mortgage had an average of $177,000 in home equity. So this is huge. And once again, just something positive that we need to be sharing with our people and just staying in front of our people over and over again.
And as Kim stated, we know the headlines are going because that's what the news is thriving on. One of the things we can control is turning off the news and then reminding the people of what is the good that's still happening. We're huge numbers of recovery that no one's talking about. And we're seeing, that 53.8% of people still have a minimum of 50% equity in their homes, and 37% of people own their homes free and clear. And then the people that do have a mortgage have tremendous amounts of equity, which is, the positive aspects people aren't thinking of. Everyone is fighting on these negative things, and it's not going to get us anywhere. But we do want to remind you guys that these numbers are going to be on a macro and or a national level. We suggest that when you're talking to you want to actually find out the data for, the greater Phoenix area. And one of the best resources that I can recommend is going to be the Cromford Report. I know Tina is doing constant updates, I believe even doing them weekly. Her data is always changing. Anytime you see a webinar from Tina Tambor, please join, because it's not going to be the same that you heard last week. So when you guys are keeping that in mind, and yes, everyone is living on fear, and unemployment is where everyone's head is going, because so many people are applying for grants and not getting them, or applied for unemployment and the money hasn't come through yet, and that's constantly what the news is living on. Yes, we're seeing high rate of possibly 15 to 20%, but we have to remember we've seen worse before, and this is also going to be short-lived. They are thinking this is going to last a maximum of 2 years. But when in other issues, as in the Great Recession and the Great Depression, we both saw them that took longer periods of time. The Great Recession took 9 years for us to recover, and then the Great Depression took 12. So this is going to be a short-lived problem, and we want everyone to remember that and keep that in the back of their minds, and keep reassuring people of the positive information.
Like I said earlier, how important it is to be staying in front of your people right now. By looking at this graph, all of the media that is being shared right now is doom and gloom. So we need to be taking the positive spin on things. Yes, looking at this graph, 20% being unemployed is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But we need to take another spin and look that 80% are still working. And we also need to remember that in that 20%, that also includes like the 16-year-old boy that's working at McDonald's. So there's people that are in that 20% that never were even going to buy or sell a house. So you can move on to the next slide. And then also, the other reason why it's so important to be reaching out to your people and sharing this information is just to take away those myths that are out there. Just like the unemployment rates and home sales, there is no true direct relationship between unemployment rates and home sales. So we need to educate our people on this. Our people are starving for education and to understand what is going on and how to understand this. So when you look at this slide here, if you look in the 1990s, the unemployment rate was at 7.5% and home sales continued to increase. And then you go and look at the early 2000s, and unemployment rate was up to 6%, and the home sales increased dramatically. And then as we move around 2008, when the crash occurred, an unemployment rate was up to 9.6%. Yes, home sales fell, and that was definitely part of the reason. It's also a time when the banks shut off lending. So, and then you go to look, in the past few years, an unemployment rate dropped like a rock, and home sales have stayed steady. So really there's no direct correlation between home sales and the unemployment rates. So we want to educate our people so that they know that home sales is not over.
All right, moving on to, this is actually going to be one of my favorite graphs, and it's my favorite because it's showing how the information is changing daily and everything like that. There was a study done where they took a group of people, interviewed them on March 15th, 29th, and 14th, and this is how their answers have varied. So if COVID-19 were today, how long would people think it would take their business to get back to usual? You know, at first people were like, oh, less than 30 days. And now that we've seen this transition and we know what's kind of coming, we're seeing that it's going to be a little bit of a slower pickup than anticipated or originally thought. I just want to remind you guys, like thread needle. Sometimes we're going to get it right on the first time. To be patient. So be patient with our economy. Be patient with things as we're trying to open things back up. But once we actually do get that thread through the needle and things are going, we're going to start rocking and rolling and be up and going in no time. And it's going to be smooth sailing from then. So if you remember, policymakers managed to thread the needle between continued virus control and gradual reopening of the economy. The GDP should begin to move higher than the months ahead. So it's just reminding everyone to focus on the positive and be patient, because there is going to be an end in sight. And when the end comes, the pause button is going to be lifted, and we're going to be back to business as normal. And we want people to then think of you as their realtor. Please share this information as much as possible, because it's only going to set you up for success, and then you start seeing that ramp up to go with what all the economy is projecting. So with that being said, that's the information Kim and I have for you guys today. We would love to know questions and or ideas as to what you want to hear about and next week when we do this again. So please go ahead and either pull yourself off mute and or drop the questions in the chat.
Hey, Taylor, can I jump in real quick?
Go for it.
Just one thing I want to say is what we do with this data is we are not the ones giving this data. We are getting this data from top sources. And what we're trying to do is take a deep dive in and give you the best advice available on what these people are saying is going to happen. And when this changes, we will let you know it. If you go back to that one graph that when Taylor was talking earlier about the V shape and U shape, it is changing on a daily basis. And there are so many economic people out there saying different things. And we are looking at the top 4 financial institutions out there when we're getting our data. There's others that disagree with them, but we're just giving you the best advice available they're giving you. This is going to change daily. I sent Taylor and Kim a stat this morning. They were doing this presentation that they took a slide off because something they had on there changed this morning. We're doing another call this afternoon with this company at 1 o'clock and going to have new information next week. And Kim really emphasized the fact that you cannot over communicate, and you need to inform your people of what's changing on here. You guys did a great job. Information is invaluable right now. So just thank you guys for doing this call. Thank you for being on there, and I'm going to go mute myself. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Thanks, Anthony. I did see a question from Sabrina asking if we can offer scripts to help with conversations with our clients that have either put brakes on for listing or buying. And yes, we definitely have scripts that we can share with you. So Sabrina, I will send those to you. And if anybody else would like those, just let Taylor or myself know.
And Sabrina, we can also share some more ideas on how things are actually working virtual, because it's the unknown for a lot of the buyers and sellers right now. They just think that the entire world has come to a stop. But, you know, real estate isn't a business and we're still moving. So we're happy to share on how people are doing stuff virtually to help ease their mind and let them know that they're still going to get the same service and the same quality of everything that you're putting forth in representation, and it's not going to stop. So we're more than happy to get to you.
Hey, and the other thing is too, with that information with scripts, if you're not following Kim Taylor or myself on Facebook or especially Instagram, do so now. They will send you their information because they are posting unbelievable stuff on there, and you guys don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you need to do, screenshot their stuff and post it yourself and share it. And they're getting some great feedback from agents and even people out there who are homeowners with the information they're sharing. So make sure you're following them on the social media sites because they'll really help you guys out when you're sharing the information.
Yes, and I cannot express enough just how important it is right now to be connecting with your database. I heard something the other day that someone said it's more important than ever to be, what did they say? A commenter versus worrying about content. So commenting and connecting with all of your people on Facebook and Instagram and all the different platforms is so huge right now because everybody's on there. So we have some great little hacks and different ways that can help you stay more in front of them that I've been sharing with some clients that have been huge for their business. So once again, reach out to us and we can share those with you.
And social media impressions are up by over 35% right now, guys. I mean, everyone's at home. They're sitting on their phones, you know. We can binge on Netflix, so people are always looking and are more now than ever looking for more of a human interaction. It doesn't have to be business-based. It can be on a friend level. It can be ideas on what cocktails or mocktail make with your kids or do something. It's just about staying relevant and in front of and making sure that you are the person that they think of when they take that pause button off. And like Anthony was saying, social media is a great way. And if you guys want to follow us, do have mine and Kim's how to find us. Both just be our names. And then if you want us on Instagram, see right below our emails is how to find us. Does anyone else have any other questions? Do we have any ideas of what you guys want to see next week? We can keep pumping out market information if you like. If you guys want us to do a whole class on how to stay in front of your database for ideas, we're more than happy to do that, or working for other people. Just want to make sure we are providing as much information and the information you guys want to see. So please let us know what you guys want. And then, like I said, we'll be doing this every day at 11:30, quick 30-minute blur. And I know Kelly is recording, so if you do happen to miss it, we'll also be on the back office for all the My Home Group agents. So please feel free to watch it if you accidentally miss it. Well, alrighty, doesn't look like we have any more. So I saw yours come through. Oh, Symphony database, you got it. Home numbers and values, we can definitely do that. Yep. So that being said, everyone enjoy your Friday and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you.